Hi, I'm Brian. Kettle's on, make yourself a cup of tea. Today I want to talk about the Spider-Man Remaster for the PS5. They have changed Peter Parker's face in it, and not for the better in my opinion. And I know a lot of fans of the Spider-Man game for the PS4 feel the same. Now obviously I'm not going to sit here and say everyone feels the same. Some people like how they've changed it, and that is fine. That is their choice. They are free to decide that. That is up to them. I personally saw nothing wrong with the face of Peter Parker in the PS4 version of Spider-Man. But there's an article here, well there's several articles on this actually, but the one I'm reading from is from Polygon. Now it says, the Spider-Man Remaster changes a lot, including Peter Parker's face. The next gen Spider-Man is literally a whole new Peter Parker. And there he is right there. He looks pretty similar, but not to the Peter Parker from the Spider-Man PS4 game. On Wednesday, Sony announced new details on Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. An update of Marvel's Spider-Man for Sony's next generation console, the PlayStation 5. The game will feature a few expected upgrades, like better graphics, a higher frame rate, and a few new Spider-Man suits. It will also feature some unexpected changes, like a brand new face for Peter Parker. According to a new post on Sony's PlayStation blog, Peter Parker's facial model has been changed in the remastered version of the game from John Burbanack's face to Ben Jordan's. The blog post explains that in order to bring out the best possible visuals for the remastered version of the game, the development team needed a better match for facial capture done by Yuri Lofinil. I apologise if I have pronounced that wrong. Possibly by coincidence, this new Peter Parker also happens to look a bit more like the MCU's Peter, Tom Holland, than the previous actor did. Insomniac Community Director James Stevenson goes into a few details about the game's next-gen visuals. The upgrades to the remastered version of the game will include ray tracing for reflections and shadows, along with new performance mode that will boost the game to 60 frames per second. The remastered game will also come with a few new suits, including one based on Andrew Garfield's from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. And then it just says of how you can get it for the PlayStation 5. Update. Insomniac's creative director Brian Inther, again apologies if I've pronounced that wrong, tweeted a statement about the recasting to provide fans with a few more details about the studio's decision. Today's news about new Peter Parker's face model has surprised some of you, and we at Insomniac totally understand your reaction. Heck, it even took me a while to get used to Peter's new look. But as we discussed the franchise's future and moving to the PS5, it quickly became apparent that delivering even more believable looking characters made finding a better facial match for actor Yuri, who we all love as Peter, a necessity. We care as much about this character as your attachment to him, so please know we didn't make this decision change lightly. As we did throughout the development of Marvel Spider-Man, we will continue to read your comments, listen, and always be looking at ways to improve every facet of the game. At the same time, I hope you can trust us that this decision is what we feel best for the future of the franchise and our upcoming goals for the beloved Marvel character. So there we have it. A little bit of detail of why they've done this. But are fans going to be happy? Well, some might be. Personally, I think this sucks. I love the Spider-Man for the PS4. The game is the reason I have a PS4. Up until seeing the Spider-Man game, I wasn't interested in getting a PlayStation 4. It was this game that I got it for. Now, the face of Peter Parker in the game fits beautifully. It's an older Peter Parker. He's 23 in the game. He's been fighting crime for 8 years. He's seasoned at it. This new Peter Parker looks like he's still in high school. He looks too young to be age 23. So I don't know what they've thought of here. In the PS4 version of the game, Miles Morales is, I believe he's 15, and he's being taught by Peter. In this version of the game, Miles Morales looks older than Peter, so I don't know how that dynamic's going to work. Speaking of dynamics, Mary Jane now looks a lot older than what this Peter Parker does, whereas before in the PS4 they looked about the same age, which is obviously what was intended. But now you've got a Mary Jane that looks early 20s like she's supposed to, and a Peter Parker that looks about 14, 15. They've changed the face of Peter Parker without altering anybody else's face. At least not that I know of. There's been no announcements that they've made any other changes to anyone else in the game. It's just Peter what they've changed. Now it does say it's to better capture the facial reactions and the voice acting, but there was nothing wrong with it originally. It looked fine. It sounded fine. In fact, it was better than fine. It was great. The Peter Parker from the PlayStation 4 version of Spider-Man was fantastic. It needed no changes. They could have just done what they've done with the rest of the game and updated the graphics, and it would have looked even better. Will I be getting a remastered version of Spider-Man if it gets PlayStation 5? No, not now. It is something I had considered, because I will be getting the Miles Morales game, which I have found out is coming out for the PS4, so I'm pleased about that. But on the horizon going forward, if I do buy a PlayStation 5, Spider-Man Remastered is not something I will get purely based on the decision to give Peter Parker a new face. I mean, he does have a striking resemblance to Tom Holland now. Whether that was intentional, they don't say it is, but it is a bit of a coincidence that they've gone this route. But even going forward from past the Spider-Man Remastered, this new facial design even now has put me off Spider-Man 2, which was a game, again, I was highly looking forward to. I mean, Spider-Man PS4 is the only game I've ever completed to a full 100%. But looking at this new face, I mean, it's ruined it for me. I will not be able to play the remastered version with this. I mean, seeing the voice come out of this new face, the same voice coming out of this new face is strange. And I don't believe it is just purely to get a better capture of the voice. I do personally think there is more behind it than that, because there was nothing wrong with the old actor, the old voice. It looked fine. They could have just remastered the graphics like they've done for the rest of the game, but they've decided to do this. So what are your thoughts on this? Are you happy with what they've done with Peter Parker in the game? Does it make a difference? Please do let me know in the comments below. And that's all from me. I'm off to make a fresh cup of tea.